Tonight at 10, a man killed helping tourist.
I found that very crazy. I didn't, that was the last thing that I was thinking was going to happen.
The man who police say attacked that Good Samaritan, along with what else the suspect is accused of, plus pastors united.
You got to be a part of the solution.
With recent crimes happening in the Mid-South, many want to find a way to fix Memphis's crime problem. How these pastors want to try and put the church in the solution.
This is unacceptable.
And a recent audit reveals some of the inhumane conditions that children who are put in the system are set to face. What this new audit reveals about the failures of the Tennessee Department of Children's Services.
Taking action. For you. Action News 5 at 10. Starts now.
Breaking news alert, Long Trail workers were shot on the job after they were robbed and held at gunpoint. This happened in East Memphis, where police say 2 males were found suffering from gunshot wounds in the area of Barfield Road and North Perkins Road. 3 employees were working a job when a man came with a gun up to them and demanded their belongings. The workers got their phones and wallets out of the truck and then handed them to the robber. We were told the robber then turned around and shot 2 of the employees as he was leaving. The 3rd employee was not injured. Both victims were transported to Regional 1 Hospital in non-critical condition. 1 man was sent to the hospital in critical condition after he was shot in South Memphis. Police responded to a shooting on South Orleans Road before 6 p.m. Police believe that the suspect and the victim knew each other. No arrests have been made. More breaking news tonight. Police say that shots were fired outside of a gas station in South Memphis. It happened at the BP gas station on Crump and Mississippi Boulevard late this afternoon. Police say that the convenience store in front of the gas station was shot up. No one was hurt and no arrests have been made. Well, Ron called it and we saw it. Gusty winds and heavy rains are in the Mid-South tonight. You're taking a look at video that we shot from Madison Avenue in Midtown Memphis. Good evening and thanks for joining me for Action News 5 at 10. I'm Noah Sershin. Joe and Joy have the evening off. Let's get straight to First Alert Chief Meteorologist Ron Childers, who was your first alert to this rainy night. And Ron, what comes next?
We've still got a lot more rain coming our way, and it's going to continue well into the overnight hours, but it's making its way through. Here's the good news. The stronger storms well to our south. Now, we still have tornado watches for parts of Mississippi, Louisiana, and Arkansas. Another one just issued for central Louisiana earlier this evening. But right now, here in the Mid-South, no severe weather. We're just dealing with rain, but lots of it, and as a result, a flood watch. National Weather Service issuing this flood watch. It will remain in effect until midnight tomorrow night. It does not include Memphis and Shelby County, but much of northeastern Mississippi, handful of counties in West Tennessee and along the Tennessee River Valley. And by the time it's all said and done, additional rainfall on top of what we've already had could be anywhere from around an inch around Memphis to close to an additional 2.5 inches right around northeastern Mississippi. A look outside right now from our High 5 camera. Here in Midtown, we've got a wet Union Avenue and plenty of rain moving on through as it's moving in. We're watching these little cells coming out of the south. Some of these could be strong, and right now, just getting a few strikes of lightning in there, but we're not seeing anything in the way of significant weather, and only about 12 strikes of lightning on that view. Right now around Memphis, it's just rain. I've got your first alert to when this will move out and what temperatures will do behind it. A little shock to the system there in my first alert forecast just ahead.
All right, Ron, we'll be looking forward to that. The rain is really creating a mess on the roadways. Right now, you're taking a live look at I-240 near South Parkway, where crews are responding to a multi-vehicle crash. This happened just before 10 and the southbound right lane and right shoulder are blocked. And when some of the heavier pockets of rain arrived into the Mid-South, a car crashed on the eastbound lanes of I-40 just past the flyover before 9 p.m. Traffic seemed to be flowing as normal as the 2 left lanes and shoulder were blocked. A woman was taken to the hospital in critical condition after she was in a multi-vehicle crash. This happened on I-240 eastbound near Mill Branch. The eastbound right lane and entry ramp are closed. New tonight at 10, 32-year-old Antoine Freeman of Memphis is behind bars tonight after a deadly attack in Memphis's Edge District. Police say 61-year-old Philip Goodwin was stabbed to death after trying to help tourists who were attacked. Action News 5's Bria Bolden joins me in the studio now with the latest on what she's learned. So Bria, fill us in.
Well, we've learned the victim killed in this tragedy was a frequent customer of High Cotton Brewery here in the Edge District, not too far from here. Monday, he ran after his accused killer after witnessing that man attack another couple earlier. 32-year-old Antoine Freeman faces first-degree murder and aggravated assault charges after 2 attacks in Memphis's Edge District Monday.
I found that very crazy. I didn't, that was the last thing that I was thinking was going to happen.
Employees at nearby businesses recalled the large police presence near High Cotton Brewery and Orleans Station Apartments that evening, but didn't know what happened just feet away. According to a police affidavit, a couple passing through Memphis wanted to stop at High Cotton Brewery on Monroe Street. Freeman admitted to police that he hit a male victim with a brick because Freeman believed the man had thrown a rock at him and called him a racial slur earlier. Police say 2 witnesses saw the brick attack and one of them ran after Freeman.
He had looked like a black bag. He had it tucked and he was running. A black man with dreads. Followed by him, probably about 20 feet after him, was an older man, white man, probably about his 40s or 50s, chasing him, and he had blue overalls on. That's why I seen. Once they got past that little brick building right there, it was over with.
Police identified that witness as 61-year-old Philip Godwin. Godwin followed Freeman into these vacant apartments on Orleans Street. When officers arrested Freeman, they found a kitchen knife on him. They found Godwin a short time later suffering from multiple stab wounds. He did not survive. And Godwin's family told me tonight that he was a wonderful man who loved Memphis. Freeman is expected in court tomorrow at 201 Poplar. Bria Bolden, Action News 5.
Memphis police needs your help tonight to identify 2 women who they believe broke into someone's car and stole their credit cards. 2 suspects broke the front passenger door window and took the victim's purse at the Memorial Park Cemetery. The suspects later used the victim's credit card to purchase gift cards at the Walmart on North Germantown Parkway. The first suspect is described as a black female wearing a Playboy hooded jacket, Nike skull cap, black leggings, and house shoes. The second suspect is described as a black female wearing a tan jacket, brown pants, a black skull cap, and house shoes. Anyone with information about this incident should call Crime Stoppers at 901528-CASH. An armed robber steals a bunch of lottery tickets from a convenience store in the University of Memphis area. The surveillance video shows a suspect walking into the Circle K store on Highland near Southern. He placed items on the counter and then opened the door and walked behind the counter. Police say that he pointed a handgun at the clerk and took the container of lottery tickets. No one was hurt. It was a scary ride for a Memphis woman who says someone shot her after she suddenly braked along I-40 earlier this month to avoid hitting someone in front of her. Police say 35-year-old Xavier Johnson was the one who pulled the trigger, and 34-year-old Deja Douglas was driving a blue Nissan Altima. Johnson is being held on a $20,000 bond, and Douglas's bond was set at $15,000. Both are scheduled to appear in court on December 20th. A Memphis man is in jail accused of shooting another man in the face. 49-year-old Clement Chandler is charged with attempted second-degree murder. Police say Chandler had an argument with the victim at an Exxon gas station on 3rd Street and Frank Avenue on November 22nd. They say Chandler fired shots at the victim while he was driving, hitting him in the face. Chandler was developed as a suspect and arrested today. 2 men are under arrest after being accused of stealing and crashing a car, then running from police. 39-year-old Edward Brannigan and 25-year-old Patrick Rayford faced numerous charges tonight, including theft of property and drug possession. Police say that they spotted a stolen car in Germantown driving recklessly near Rhodes College. The car then crashed and 2 people got out of the car and began running. Police caught both suspects and say that they found fentanyl inside the car. An Arkansas woman is facing 8 counts of endangerment stemming from a domestic dispute. 30-year-old Amanda Brewer of Truman, Arkansas, and another woman got into a physical altercation while 8 children were present. During the fight, police say Brewer swung at the victim and hit a 9-month-old child in the side of the face. When an 11-year-old tried to break up the fight, the woman said Brewer then swung again and hit the second child in the face. Brewer's bond was set at $7,500 and was ordered to have no contact with the victims in this case. Memphis has seen another year of numerous violent crimes in the city. New numbers show that kids are mainly the suspects in these cases, and local pastors want to become a part of the solution. The Southern Christian Leadership Conference created a new initiative designed to unite the resources of 450 pastors in the Memphis chapter. It plans to open up churches for those kids in need, providing mentors and staff who can give the children guidance through recreational activities, etiquette classes, career counseling, or being a person willing to listen.
Got to be a part of the solution, and if we're not a part of the solution, then I think that we're a part of the problem as leaders and as pastors.
SCLC has also launched a 24/7 hotline to help expand the reach of this new initiative. All you have to do is dial the number 901-319-8784. Faithful Baptist Church will be one of the first to take part in this program and dedicate parts of its Saturday and Sunday to help mentor children involved in the new initiative. Take a look at some of these heartbreaking images behind me. Now it shows just some of the conditions that children who are put in the system are said to face. These are just children here sleeping on floors. It's so heartbreaking to look at. Tonight, the Department of Children's Services is collapsing. Those are words from a state lawmaker after a scathing new audit shows that DCS failed to examine multiple sexual abuse cases. Action News 5's Joyce Peterson joins me in studio now with more on this disturbing story and what all this audit revealed. Joyce.
A lawmaker who's been raising the red flag for years says children will die if Governor Bill Lee and the supermajority don't take action immediately.
And the thing that is so frustrating to me is we have been calling attention to this for 2 years.
State Representative Gloria Johnson from Knoxville sounded the alarm about Tennessee's Department of Children's Services in 2020. 2 years later,
Sexual assault, abuse, trauma every day, sleeping on office floors. This is unacceptable.
A new audit by the state comptroller's office revealed DCS failed to investigate dozens of sexual abuse reports. Children remained in abusive or unsafe locations. Caseworkers failed to make monthly contact with children, and background checks for employees and volunteers were disorganized. The comptroller said the safety and well-being of Tennessee's most vulnerable children is in jeopardy by management's failure to develop an impactful strategic plan. The audit coming just weeks after new DCS chief Margie Quinn told lawmakers her department has nearly 500 job openings.
I think some salary increases will help us in these urban areas that are so hard hit, where it is very difficult to staff at the opening salary of $40,000 requiring a college degree.
We have $2 billion in reserves in Tennessee. We have $10 billion in addition to that in surplus. Morally, we have to do something now.
Representative Johnson would like to see an aggressive hiring campaign with higher pay for DCS employees and more money for foster families, with an ad campaign to attract more foster families. Because without swift action, says Johnson, DCS will collapse.
How many kids are going to be sleeping on a cold office floor on Christmas Eve and Christmas Day because our governor, who is responsible for these kids in state's custody, that's his custody, is doing nothing?
I reached out to Governor Lee's office tonight. A spokesperson told me, quote, meaningful solutions, unquote, will be discussed during a hearing on Capitol Hill tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. We'll be watching. We'll keep you posted. Live in studio tonight, I'm Joyce Peterson. Joe, back over to you.
Coming up, calls are growing from Republican lawmakers to ban the popular social media app TikTok. Why they're so adamant about this app being banned in the country. Plus, are you tired of all this wet weather we're seeing here in the Mid-South, while our neighbors all across the country are seeing tornadoes and even snow? Up next, to look at this wild weather we're all seeing. And sports aren't just for humans to enjoy. Elephants in Thailand got to put on their own version of the World Cup. Find out why this version of the World Cup aims to help high school students when Action News 5 at 10 returns.
Taking action for you. You're watching Action News 5 at 10.
Today, college sports fans across the nation are mourning the loss of Mississippi State head football coach Mike Leach. He reportedly suffered a massive heart attack over the weekend. Leach was known for his innovative offense and amazing storytelling ability. Leach was just 61 years old. The U.S. Postal Service is honoring the late civil rights trailblazer and Congressman John Lewis. The forever stamp will show Mr. Lewis in 2013. It's from a photograph that was taken by Marco Grob for an issue of Time magazine. The Georgia Democrat was a keynote speaker at the historic 1963 March on Washington. Lewis dedicated his life to activism, spending 3 decades of his life fighting for civil rights. Lewis died in 2020 from a battle with pancreatic cancer. When we allow TikTok to access our cameras and microphones to record a video, we're opening the door for complete access to what's on our phone, even when we're not using the app. Now, it may seem worth it for a chance to go viral, but it's a whole lot of information that's ending up in the hands of the Chinese government. Now, some lawmakers here in the United States want the app to be banned here. Our Washington, D.C. correspondent Molly Martinez spoke with a cybersecurity expert on what TikTok could be doing when you're not on the app.
If you are not paying for the product, you are the product.
Cybersecurity expert Matthew Curtin explains that behind the viral dances and the latest trends, TikTok could be up to something sinister.
It can be looking through your computer for credentials to log into your bank account. It can be looking through your files to see if there's anything that shows a lot of skin that they might be able to blackmail you with.
The concern over Chinese espionage is causing Maryland, South Dakota, South Carolina, Alabama, and Texas to ban the app on government devices. Now, a group of lawmakers in Washington are introducing a bill for a total ban nationwide. Marco Rubio, who is sponsoring the bill, says this isn't about creative videos. This is about an app that is collecting data on tens of millions of American children and adults every day. Senator John Thune agrees.
I think banning TikTok on any government agency platform is just a wise thing to do. Otherwise, China is going to acquire and have access to enormous amounts of information.
That was Molly Martinez reporting. TikTok released a statement saying, quote, some members of Congress have decided to push for a politically motivated ban that will do nothing to advance the national security of the United States, end quote. The White House says signaled that they may be on board with this legislation, saying that China's attempt to leverage American data poses as a national security risk. A massive storm blowing across the country spawned several tornadoes that wrecked buildings and injured a handful of people in Oklahoma and Texas and left 2 people missing in Louisiana. Sheriff's deputies, firefighters, volunteers, and dog teams were searching through the debris after a tornado touched down about 10 miles from Shreveport, Louisiana. 2 people were missing and 1 was hurt, and several buildings were destroyed. A line of thunderstorms brought tornadoes, damaging winds, hail, and heavy rains across North Texas and Oklahoma in the early morning hours. Authorities reported dozens of damaged homes and businesses and several injuries in the suburbs and counties stretching north of the Dallas-Fort Worth area. Well, not only did the system bring severe storms, but it also brought snow to the north and Midwest. An area stretching from Montana into western Nebraska and Colorado was under blizzard warnings, and the National Weather Service says that it could be as much as 2 feet of snow that was possible in some of the areas like South Dakota, and western Nebraska. Ice and sleet were expected from the eastern Great Plains. Forecasters expected the system to hobble the upper Midwest with ice, rain, and snow for days, as well as move into the northwest and central Appalachians. Residents were told to watch out for a possible significant mix of snow, ice, and sleet. And the National Weather Service issued a winter storm watch from Wednesday night through Friday afternoon, depending on the timing of the storm. Elephants participated in a World Cup of their own as they played soccer with local school children in Thailand. 13 elephants painted with flags of FIFA World Cup qualifying countries ran, kicked giant soccer balls, and even scored a few goals. The game aimed to promote local tourism and encourage high school students to play sports. We're taking a live look at the rain that's still coming down in the Mid-South. Let's get another check of our first alert forecast with Chief Meteorologist Ron Childers.
This is a shot from the ground. Ace videographer Darren Baldwin out front bringing us this live view from Midtown this evening. Let's show you what's going on. Take a look at the big picture. Clouds and radar imagery showing the rain moving from west to east. Severe weather just to our south, and we've even got a tornado warning just outside the Action News 5 coverage area. But for us, it's been a tranquil, albeit rainy night across the Mid-South, but we can't rule out the potential for a few storms, especially in our southern counties as we get into the overnight hours. But I'm really encouraged by what I've been seeing over the last few hours. Let's take a close look at what's happening around the Mid-South right now. It is just rain, heavier precipitation right there around Quitman County. Just moved through Coahoma County, but it is moving off to the east. But the rest of the Mid-South dealing with primarily light to moderate rain. we've got a cold front that's triggering it all, and it's pushing from west to east. That's going to keep rain in play tonight, and we'll likely see more building in behind the front tomorrow. That will allow for rain as we get on into the day Wednesday. That will be followed by a big shot of cold air that comes in for the end of the week, and it's going to stick around for a little while. And as a matter of fact, take a look at the 7-day temperatures. Low 60s tomorrow, average this time of year, mid 50s. We're going to fall in the 40s Thursday, and we'll only reach the mid 40s Friday through the weekend, and it's going to be chilly to start next week. Right now, we're at 61 degrees. 65 was our high today. 81/100ths of an inch of rain at the airport, almost an inch so far, and more coming. Rain and thunderstorms tonight, a little thunder, a little lightning. It will be windy at times with a southwest wind at 10 to 20 miles per hour, but your rain chance 100% no matter where you are in the Mid-South. 59 our low. Let's take a look at temps by the hour because we could see them surge just a little bit, getting back in the lower 60s right around 1 or 2 a.m., then kind of holding around that 60-degree mark through the early morning hours. But those temperatures will fall during the day tomorrow. And from now until midnight, that rain's going to continue. Looks like the heaviest and the strongest storms will remain to our south. By 4 in the morning, we'll get a little break over much of the area, but not finish with the rain just yet. Maybe a few hit or miss showers for the morning commute, but a better chance for rain will redevelop as we get to around midday Wednesday, and those showers will continue on into the afternoon before finally clearing out during the evening. And that's when the cold air settles in. We still have the flood watch that's in effect, and that will remain until midnight tomorrow night. Additional rainfall could be anywhere from around an inch in Memphis to close to 3 inches in parts of northeastern Mississippi. So a very, very soggy pattern indeed. Tomorrow, we'll have a 20% chance of rain at 7, but we're back to about a 70% chance at noon and 3, 40% chance at 5, and right around 7, we should see some clearing. Rain chances drop to 10%. So showers, falling temperatures tomorrow, a southwest wind at about 5 to 10 miles per hour. As we get into the 7-day forecast, finally, after more than a week, we're going to see some sun on Thursday. 49 the high, though. Then for Friday, partly cloudy and 44. We're looking at 46 on Saturday, 47 Sunday. Partly cloudy and 48 Monday. A little more cloud cover on Tuesday, but it's still going to be cold. And those overnight lows, low to mid 30s for the next few nights. So after the rain, we get the sun, but we've got to deal with the cold.
Thanks, Ron. Still to come on Action News 5 at 10, one of the Bluff City's most enchanting holiday traditions is back. Find out the joy that's brought to countless children and when you can get to see the action for yourself. It's coming up next in our 5-star stories.
Taking action for you. You're watching Action News 5 at 10.
Tonight's 5-star story celebrates a Mid-South holiday tradition just shy of its 60th anniversary. Action News 5's Kim Clark gives us a look tonight at the fun at the Enchanted Forest Festival of Trees.
You're walking into a winter wonderland when you visit the Enchanted Forest Festival of Trees at the Museum of Science and History.
It's a wonderful holiday tradition for the city of Memphis and supports such a wonderful organization with Le Bonheurs.
This glistening forest has brought holiday fun and good cheer to young and old alike for 59 years. 20 of those in the decked out halls of the former Pink Palace Museum, now known as MOSH.
But it started out downtown Goldsmiths, and children would come to go visit Santa and tell them their wish list.
The Enchanted Forest actually opened in the early 1960s in the old Goldsmiths department store that was once located here at 125 South Main Street. And it was modeled after Walt Disney's Small World exhibit at the World's Fair. In 1990, Goldsmiths donated the forest to Twigs, an auxiliary that supports the Bonner Children's Hospital, which added the forest's holly and ivy to the Festival of Trees, making it a fundraiser for the hospital ever since. Elizabeth Boywood is the Enchanted Forest's special events coordinator.
There are several different competitions people can enter into, traditional themes and creativity, as well as a children's division. We have volunteers, about 100 volunteers come in to decorate trees and to create wonderful gingerbread homes.
The delicious smell of more than 20 gingerbread houses can't outshine the gingerbread creations themselves that impressed even the Food Network.
2 contestants of ours were actually featured in the Great Holiday Bake Off, including the winner.
With this year's more than 40 sparkling trees, you'll find everything from a construction site to Christmas gnomes and more.
From nature themes to a selfie station to Batman tree.
And after a 2-year hold due to COVID restrictions, here comes Santa Claus, ready to hear the wishes of every good girl and boy.
We are so thrilled that we have the perfect environment to safely allow children to be with Santa and share all their dreams and hopes.
Mosh Executive Director Kevin Thompson says the museum is also jingling bells with a full calendar of events.
We've got wonderful events to complement it, a couple of movies in the theater, so just come down to Mosh and make a full day of it.
But the most delightful thing about the Enchanted Forest is the comfort and joy it brings to young patients at Le Bonheur Children's Hospital.
This is to benefit children to have their best life and to have health care that they need so that we can really take care of our community.
And the thumpity thump thump it brings to the hearts of visitors.
The Enchanted Forest is about connecting families to share their faith, to share fellowship and friendship, and just enjoy each other's company.
One more reason we're proud to call the Mid-South home, a delight even a Grinch can't steal. Kim Clark, Action News 5.
The Enchanted Forest Festival of Trees is open Wednesday through Sunday at the Museum of Science and History through December 24th. For more information about the Enchanted Forest or Mosh, visit the story on our website, actionnews5.com. Well, it was a big day for the Memphis Tigers basketball team. Doc will have a wrap-up of all the hoop action next in sports. But first, New Edition is just a new addition to a list of concerts coming to the FedEx Forum. We'll tell you who else is slated to take the stage next. Stay with us. Mr. Telephone Man is calling all Candy Girls. New Edition is coming to Memphis. The Grammy-nominated R&B group is bringing its Legacy Tour to the FedEx Forum on Sunday, March 12, 2023, with Keith Sweat, Guy, and special guest Tank. Tickets go on sale to the general public on Friday, December 16th at 10 a.m. on Ticketmaster.com or at the FedEx Forum box office. Janet Jackson will also hold a concert at the FedEx Forum next year for her Together Again tour. Tickets for the Together Again tour will go on sale this Friday on Ticketmaster.com.
Hi, how are you? Doc Holliday. Saturday, the Memphis Tigers taking down then undefeated and 11th ranked Auburn. Tonight, Kendrick Davis and his squad in Tuscaloosa trying to do the same to 4th ranked Alabama. And Davis getting the party started early. Penetration, paint, ping off the backboard, points. Kendrick with a 30-piece tonight. He was balling. Then Kendrick in transition. Look at this pass to Chandler Lawson. That is beautiful. Tigers scoring the first 6 points of the game. A couple of minutes later, it's going to be Kendrick in transition again. Oops to Allen and Malcolm Dandridge, and Malco beating everyone down the court, throws one down. Late first half, now Tigers down 33-31. Demarie Franklin finds DeAndre Williams. DeAndre grown manning in the paint. Tigers down 36-33 at the break. Second half, Tigers down 4. Chandler Lawson. Look at those long arms. Defense. Steal, gets DeAndre. DeAndre running, and DeAndre all up in this dude's face. Throws one down. DeAndre fouling out, but not before scoring 15 points and grabbing 9 rebounds. Late in the ball game, though, the Tigers down 84-75. The Memphis Hustle trying to dispel the idea of magic as they host the Lakeland Magic at the Lander Center tonight. Second quarter, Grizzlies down 11. Kenneth Lofton Jr. hitting the defensive glass, running. Gets it to Jake LaRavia, back to Junior, and Junior with the athletic finish. Fast forward late fourth quarter, now Hustle down 125-123. Xavier Tillman, Euro floater bucket at the buzzer. They had to look at it. It was good. Xavier, big smile. Sends the game into overtime. And in the OT, the target score now is 132. Vince Williams misses the free throw. Justin Bean with the tap out. Dakota Mathias for 3 misses, but look at Vince. The walk-off put-back dunk just like that. The Hustle coming back from 21 points down to win it just like that in OT, 132-130. The Memphis women coming back from a 22-point deficit to beat Townsend earlier today on this Jada Wright tip at the buzzer. The Tigers winning 73-71.
I've known Jada for a really long time, and if you told me that Jada was going to win us a game on a tip, I'd tell you not so much. I just really am proud of her.
With today's win, the Tigers improve it to 6-5 on the season. Sports is done. News is not. Come back, please return. Thank you.
Well, Ron, it's been a pretty rainy day here in the Mid-South.
Yeah, and there's more coming our way. Brittany's tracking it bright and early tomorrow. We'll have more to deal with on Wednesday. Then it gets cold.
All right, well, thanks, Ron. Well, that will do it for us tonight on Action News 5 at 10. The Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon is next. You can join us again tomorrow at 4 a.m. Have a good night.
With the WMC Action News 5 mobile app, you'll be the first to know. From WMCActionNews5.com to text and email alerts for breaking news and weather. It's all right here in the palm of your hand. Sponsored by the Robert Trent Jones Golf Trail.